Hello, good evening, guys. This is Brendan here. Hope you guys are doing really well. I think there's been a lot of information in the world of crypto for the past 2 days, I guess. So just thought I'd just give you guys a quick update. So I think Bitcoin, is again doing a bit of a sideways movement. So I don't see much of a change. I think if you look at the stock market as well, it's doing the same. But I think it is going to go a bit sideways and then go a bit down. As I said, it's going to test that 9.5 and then bounce back, sideways, a bit down and then bounce back. So let's see how Bitcoin goes, guys. But I think it is going to go a bit down before it goes up. So that's, again, not financial advice, but that's what I think. Personally, again, whatever I say here is not financial advice, guys. Just FYI for information. Please do your own due diligence. So the other information today is really hot. Is Loopring. So Loopring is now going to be listed on Coinbase. So I think the order starts on 15th. So it's anyway 5 days in advance. So not sure why they announced it 5 days in advance, but yeah, so that's the case at the moment. So I think, yeah, it is going to have, the normal, if you say Coinbase pump, which is very, very basic fundamental stuff, LRC. Excuse me, sorry. So yeah, it has had a decent, pump at the moment. So it's just been, 2 hours, I would say. So yeah, it is kind of really do a bit. The volume as well has really gone up. So last time I was looking at it was something around 50 million or something like that, but now it's 24 million. So yeah, people are, now coming into it. Again, Loopring is a really good, ZK roller project, and it is very helpful for Ethereum as well, for the scalability stuff. So if you go on-chain analysis, I would always recommend this to you guys, well, not only for Loopring, but any project that you would like to invest in, always do further analysis. Whomsoever tells you that this is a good token, please invest. But go ahead and do some research for yourself as well, so that you're more convinced, guys. Just saying, FYI, okay? Just letting you know. So this is a very good, static information. Just, it's something that you could look at and go, okay, it makes sense. So at the moment, you could see people holding 17% are, making money, 50% are breaking even, and 33% are still out. So it is a really good project if in case you would not, want to buy. Again, not financial advice, but because if in case you buy, you're still going to be, somewhere in the 50% or somewhere, anywhere between 50 and 33%, because not much people are making money. It's just a very small person. You could see 83% of the people are not making money. So there is not a significant chance that, the project is going to dump or something like that. So that's really good. And you can see the all-time high as well is £2. So yeah, it is hardly just 20 cents. Yeah, long way to go. That's pretty good. And this rating as well, guys, you can look at the rating. So this is really very good. You can look at 828. So that sees the quality of a project, right? ETH being, I think so, ETH is something around 900 and something. So ETH, and think then it was Cardano. So Cardano as well has a very high rating. And yeah, you can see Loopring 828. Pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, it's because the project is really very, very good. So yeah, that's one reason that you see today Loopring pumping. And another news on Coinbase is that the USDC coin, which is the native Coinbase, dollar stable coin, is now, on Algorand as well. They are actually building it on Algorand as well. So yeah, it is basically for scalability and stuff. But I think now all the stable coins are moving to every blockchain. So this is another, useful news. If it is something, if you use USDC, this is something you could know. Another thing is with this blockchain Solana. So I've heard about Solana, but I haven't done much research. But now, it really came to my attention yesterday that Tether, they have listed, not listed in the sense they are, putting their stablecoin Tether on Solana. So that's really very good. So I was just reading through this article. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was reading through this article. It's pretty amazing, guys. You could just see what Solana could achieve here. 50,000 transactions per second often for less than, and look at this cost. It's hardly anything, guys. It's just not even, I wouldn't even use the words negligible because that's the level of transactions compared to what ETH is going through, which is clearly just mentioned here, 15 transactions per second at the average cost, and that's just the average cost of 265. So Solana just wins by a mile. So this is something which is, sometimes makes me a bit concerning because, if you look at Algorand, just look at the blockchains that are getting momentum now is Algorand, Solana, it's just crazy. And Solana as well, they have proof of history. So they actually achieve, 50,000 transactions without sharding. So that's something that you really need to note. So blockchains like Zilliqa and Elrond, they actually have sharding where, the transactions is broken into small shards, and then, it helps it really scale. But in this project, it doesn't even have sharding, and it scales to 50,000. How amazing is that, guys? So if you look at these things, I think these are blockchains that are going to become more predominantly, I would say mainstream. Previously, the only blockchain that we hear mostly is Ethereum, right? Every day we hear ETH is doing this, people are building on ETH. We haven't heard much about, Solana. This name itself is like something new. And now since Tether put it on Solana, everybody's, waking up to Solana. And if you guys would like to buy Solana, and if you use crypto.com, it is on crypto.com, guys. Just letting you know, I don't hold any Solana because the project already pumped really very high, so I couldn't buy. Maybe if it really comes down to a level where I can afford, then I would buy, or else I don't think so I would buy, because I'm really very happy with Polkadot myself. But yeah, I think this is something that we need to look at, guys. As I said, ETH needs to come out with 2.0 and needs to come out swinging, actually, to be honest with you guys, because there are these, completed blockchains like Solana, Algorand, Zilliqa, Elrond, and, these are changed. And I forgot to mention the main, but, chain, substrate and interoperable king, which is Polkadot. So these are, amazing chains that are already ready, and people could just come in and start building on it. And ETH is still lagging, and they say it's going to be a year, or it might be end of this year. But again, you could only speculate, but I would only believe it when they say, yeah, it's live and up and running. So until then, it's just speculation. So these chains are already up and running, right? So that's why you see all these stable coins deploying on these tokens. And one thing, on these blockchains. And one thing I noticed here as well, they said it's, Tether is not already listed on different blockchains already, Algorand, Ethereum, EOS, Omni, OMG Network, and Tron, and now Solana. So they are still exploring. If we read through here, we can't disclose names yet because the due diligence is not yet finished yet. But we have 3 in the pipeline: Tether, CTO, Paulo Artiano, told the block. So they are still, going to deploy Tether on other 3 blockchains. So I don't know, they already have it on Algorand, which is okay. So the rest of the blockchains is going to be, I think it might be Polkadot, and it might be Cosmos. I think it might be Cosmos because that is another project that's very, interoperable and scalable as well. So I think so. And the third one, I would say, I would put two blockchains in the third place, which is Zilliqa and Elrond. So anywhere between these 3, or maybe one among these 3 for sure. Other than this, I'm not sure about any other blockchains because Cardano is not yet ready. I don't think they would deploy it. ETH is not yet ready. So yeah, and there is one blockchain which is Phantom, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. That is not yet well versed, but yeah, we never know. So I think those 3 are the blockchains. If you guys hold any of those tokens, then I think I think you might be in luck if they launch Tether there, so it would have a really good pump. But the other news for Polkadot, which I was reading through, so now Origin Trail is now working with Parity Tech, which again is Polkadot basically. So Origin Trail is nothing but the WeChain of the European countries, guys. So it's more about into supply chain management, and they work along with the European Union, and especially one of the biggest clients is in the UK where I live. So BSI, British Standard Institutions. So British Standard Institutions is more like, I think they provide something like 9001, 9002, those kind of certifications to huge companies like Fortune 500 companies and really multi-trillion dollars industries actually. So Origin Trail is works along with these guys, and they have something called as Trace Alliance. They have another alliance called as CAN as well. So I think this is really amazing that these guys are now working with Polkadot. I used to have, hold Origin Trail like, I don't know, 6 months ago, but then I sold it because there was not much announcement, and these guys were more, too much on the project than much of the community in crypto. But now they've started to indulge in crypto and started to move around in the crypto space because the crypto space has started to grow. So now I start to see these guys exploring like Polkadot. So I like this actually. So I would wait for a pullback for Origin Trail. I don't know how much it has done actually at the moment. Easy track, yeah. Just a second, guys. Yeah, okay. I think it has had a bit of a pullback. So if you need, Origin Trail, it is on KuCoin, guys. That's where I bought mine. So and then Uniswap as well. So and that's another, a huge plus point for Origin Trail, given that now they start to build partnerships. They are only on KuCoin. They are not on the main exchanges like Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase, any actually, who are being OKEX. So if in case, these guys really concentrate on the crypto market, I think these guys are going to really, really actually make a lot of money, people who invest in this, because you could, the volume is hardly anything there, 1.7 million. And I like the supply as well. There's hardly 289 million and 500 million is pretty good. Supply, the market, is not too bad. I would say 72 million. It's okay, not too bad. So yeah, I think this is something, if in case you guys are interested, maybe you could look into it. And I think there was another thing that Polkadot as well signed with Cisco. I think this is another partnership that they announced today. So they would be building on Kusama and Polkadot. So I like Kusama as well. Kusama is nothing but a sandbox for Polkadot. So if you launch your project on Kusama, then it is automatically set to be fine with Polkadot. It is more like a testing environment, but a costly testing environment for Polkadot, guys. That's what is Kusama actually. But anyway, both of them are really very good, and both of them have tokens. So I really like Kusama very much as well. I hold a bit of Kusama. So yeah, that's about Polkadot, and I hold a lot of Polkadot as well. As I already said, I have my portfolio, 80 to 85% of my portfolio is Polkadot. So yeah, I think today AELF, so this is another blockchain as well, which came out I think yesterday, and they announced something called as Sashimi Swap, which is nothing but the hard fork of Sushi Swap. So if you guys have heard about the madness that went on with Sushi, yeah, see, it's high. Yeah, so I think Sushi Swap was like, going through, so wow, okay. It really has a very, very bad pullback. Wow, okay, so 64%. Yeah, because this went up to I think $77 or something like that for all-time high. Where is it? All-time high. Blimey, $168. Whoa. Okay. I was looking at it at 7. I don't know if this is right, guys. I don't know if that's right, guys. Sorry, guys, just 1 second. I don't know if that's really correct. Let me just double check again in Coin Market Cap as well, so that we have the correct numbers. Yeah, so this seems reasonable. I don't know what was that on CoinGecko. So yeah, somewhere around that price. So now it is like, wow, okay, a huge drop because of the exit scam that guy did. It's really bad. But now it is with FTX. So I don't know. It's still, I think people have not gained trust, as I would say, but the volume as well is really very good. But anyway, I'm not much into this project because it's very high risk project. But I'm always into projects like AELF, guys, Lend. So I think this is the same project that these guys have built, AELF, called Sashimi. So swap. So they've these guys are backing the project, and these guys are huge blockchain as well. There are a lot of institutional money in AELF, and today these guys actually went up like crazy. So if you see, I think they went up nearly 130%. So it was really very the pumping. They started to really pump. So let's just quickly look into the 24-hour chart. Yeah, you can see it's still pumping. Wow, 131. Loopring again, because it is listed on Coinbase, so it is really going to have a good week, I would say, because it's Coinbase is going to list it on 15th. So I think up to 13th and up to 13 or 14, Loopring will have. Yeah, so up to 13 or 14, Loopring will have a good run, and then as they say, buy the rumor, sell the news. So you should be taking profits if in case you hold Loopring or if you hold AELF as well, guys. So yeah, I think that's why if you see these two coins pumping, that's the reason it is pumping, guys. This is pretty good. And the other news is Anchor. So I think Anchor now is again stressing about the ETH 2.0 and how you could stake your ETH in ETH 2.0 with your Anchor micropool. So that's something which is really good in this article. If you guys are interested, please go through it as well. That's really nice. And then I came across this amazing project as well called SingularityNet. I'm very much into AI, so I really like AI tech, and this is really good. This guy actually is running the project. This is more into humanoid AIs. So this is something having human interaction with another human, which is built out of artificial intelligence. It's something like this guy, Sophia the robot. So these guys are behind this Sophia the robot kind of I don't know, this AI machine or whatever you would like to call it. It is something really stunning innovation, if you ask me. To see this lady actually talking and everything is just crazy. It's just really, really crazy. And I think this is now registered in Hong Kong. I think she has citizenship somewhere as well. I didn't read through very much, but it is really good with SingularityNet. I think SingularityNet is more something, with the humanoid, trying to have AI to see how it could enhance humans by creating another AI human kind of a way. Like I don't know if you guys know Elon Musk is building something called as Neuralink, where you could have a mesh put on top of your brain, and that would actually stimulate your brain and provide you all the information that you need. Basically, it's like the internet connected directly to your brain, as that's what he explained it on a show which I've seen. So I think these guys are somewhat related to something like that they're working on. It's really very good, and these guys have their own tokens as well. So AGI, so that's pretty good. So it is listed on Binance as well. So yeah, it is really good, very, very good. So I would see if it really drops a bit, I would get some, because I think at the moment it's 6 cents. That's a bit too high for me, and the volume is really low. Don't think much people have heard about this, but I think in the future is always going to be amazing. And as I said, I always hold Fetch, always will hold Fetch, because this is one of the best projects, I think, because future is going to be AI, guys. Everything is going to be driven by AI, and guess what? Fetch is something external, right? SingularityNet is something that is internal, which is working on us to say how it could artificially change and modify a human, is what SingularityNet is. But Fetch is more external, like how you could make cars, which is non-living things, interact with each other so that they could move in spaces amicably, like two cars interacting with each other, saying that, hey, I'm turning left, I'm turning right, I'm going straight. Or if it interact with signals to say red, green, orange, whatever it might be, the color, right? Amber, whatever you call as orange in your country, guys. But yeah, so saying those are the autonomous agents that Fetch is building, which is really very, very interesting, and I think it's going to be fascinating in the future for Fetch, guys. So these two projects are really, really amazing. So I think there was a lot of news in the past 2 days, but I think Bitcoin didn't cooperate with the level of news and the excitement. I would say it still started to just have too much of sideways action, I would say. And at the same time, Polkadot as well, it seemed to just tag along with Bitcoin and just perform not that well. But again, it is a bit low. So yeah, I would be, anyway, as I said, I would be holding Polkadot, because it is a long-term hold for me. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's the news that I have for you guys. Hope it really helped. And thank you. Bye, guys. Have a good evening.